You're watching CBS News Los Angeles, The Rundown.
Hello, I'm Amy Johnson. Here's a look at our top stories. We begin with breaking news. Former President Donald Trump has asked the Supreme Court to suspend a ruling on his immunity claims in a 2020 election case. Now, today's emergency filing by Trump's legal team comes after a lower court's decision by a 3-judge panel. Trump had claimed he is immune from prosecution on charges he plotted to overturn his 2020 election loss, but the panel rejected that claim. 5 justices are needed to approve Trump's request. An investigation is underway after a hit-and-run driver killed a young boy in Gardena. KCAL News reporter Jeff Nguyen spoke to neighbors who are concerned about speeding in the area.
We are at the corner of Budlong and Marine, and this is the intersection where a 5-year-old boy was struck and killed by a hit-and-run driver. Right now, there is a growing memorial for him. And the reason for that is because neighbors in the area say that this intersection is very dangerous. In fact, the folks who live in that house say that their fence has been taken out multiple times because of people speeding and losing control and crashing into their fence and ending up on their front lawn. They also say right across the street at this home, this fence line was taken out twice in about 3 weeks recently. We have reached out to the police department here in Gardena, which is investigating this case, and investigators tell us at this point they don't have a clear description of the suspect's car. It is very vague right now. They have been canvassing this area, trying to find security videos to link a car to what happened, but it's awfully tough because some of the cameras were not working and other cameras were pointed in a direction that was not covering this intersection. One of the neighbors who lives in this area tells us that after the crash, she ran out to help. She could hear the little boy's grandmother crying out, "Mijito, mijito," when she was in the ambulance. It was very heartbreaking. The medical examiner's office has identified the 5-year-old boy who died at the intersection as Patrick Chacon. And the neighbor who was across the street was able to speak to Patrick's mother, trying to console her during her time of sorrow, offering her water. At this point, investigators, again, don't have a good description, so they are still trying to figure out some clues in this case. They also say that this deadly hit and run took place soon after another deadly hit and run in the area. So we will stay on top of this for you throughout the day on KCAL News beginning at 4 p.m.
Well, this afternoon, Houston officials say 2 officers were instrumental in saving lives after a woman opened fire yesterday inside Pastor Joel Osteen's mega church. Now, the 2 off-duty officers working church security fired back at that shooter, killing her. She was identified as Genesee Moreno. Police say she had a known history of mental illness and a criminal background. Her 7-year-old son and a 57-year-old man were wounded in that gunfire. It's not yet clear who fired the shot that hit the boy. Investigators are also trying to figure out a motive.
I mentioned anti-Semitic writing. We do believe that there was a familial dispute that has taken place between her ex-husband and her ex-husband's family, and some of those individuals are Jewish. So we believe that might possibly be where all of this stems from.
Officials recovered 2 guns at the scene, including the AR-15 believed to have been used in the attack. Well, major concern for some homeowners in Dana Point as the land slides under their bluff homes. SkyCal was over the Headlands Conservation Area today. You can see where mud and debris slid down that hill. Our Michelle Geely will have a full report on this story ahead at 4. Well, turning now to your weather, a look at Catalina Island, a beautiful start to the work week. So what's ahead for the rest of the week? Let's check in with KCAL News meteorologist Olga Ospina, who has your next weather. Hi, Olga.
Hi, Amy. And look at this, a beautiful shot of Santa Monica as well. We're seeing some sunshine along the coastline, and we're going to see more of it as we head into the coming days. Temperatures currently in Santa Monica feeling 63 degrees. And here's a look at our radar showing us clear skies really across Southern California. So welcome change for us. We felt it this weekend. We can continue feeling those mild temperatures, 66 in Woodland Hills as well as Van Nuys. We're in the 50s up in the Antelope Valley with 57 in Lancaster, 56 currently in Palmdale. As we head into the LA area, 67 in downtown Los Angeles. So numbers are getting a little close to average. Low 60s in Laguna Hills, Lake Mission Viejo checking in at 64. And we have plenty of 60s as well as 50s through much of the Inland Empire. As we head up into the mountains, 43 currently in Big Bear City. Here's a look at our temperature change map. So we're heading in the right direction. Most areas are up, not by a whole lot. A few degrees of warming, we'll take it. And here's a check of what we're expecting this afternoon. So most of us for inland spots, upper 60s will be the story, even a few low 70s. 65 along the coastline, 58 degrees in the high desert, and mountains you will be in the mid 40s. Again, sunshine across the board. Here's a look at what is next. So those dry and mild days, we will continue with that trend at least for the rest of the work week. The changes start happening by the weekend, cooler temperatures moving in, and yes, a chance of rain this weekend and even into next week as well. President's Day is going to be on Monday, so a lot of you have the day off. Any plans over the weekend into early next week could be impacted, as we do have a wet weather pattern setting up as we head into later in the week. Here's a look at Futurecast. So right now we have this area of high pressure overhead, and that is going to deflect any kind of storms that we're seeing to our north. But by the weekend, as that high starts to break down, we have this big storm that's going to be moving in. And as we head into the weekend and early next week, we're tracking some wet weather. And as we get a little closer, we'll kind of hone in on exactly the details, how much rain and the exact timing of it. But just be aware, we're heading into that holiday weekend, and we are looking at some rain in the extended forecast by late in the week. Temperatures over the next few days comfortable, at least for the rest of the work week, with numbers in the mid to upper 60s. And then temperatures start to drop by the weekend, and we have that chance of rain heading our way once again after, of course, that really intense storm last week. But once again, some wet weather in the extended forecast. Amy.
All right, Olga, thanks so much.